Football League World is reporting that Derby County manager John Eustace is keen to reunite with Blackburn Rovers captain Lewis Travis this summer. That means that they will be joining Wrexham AFC in the transfer battle for the 27-year-old services. Now, it is reported that John Eustace wants Lewis Travis back, as just previously mentioned, and he is valued at around £2 million by Blackburn Rovers, with just a year left on his contract. Now, obviously, Derby County will be battling well-funded Wrexham and probably a range of other clubs for the potential for this deal. But in my personal opinion, I'm not sure how much I believe Football League World. Now, over the course of the years, Football League World has most notably been sort of an opinion-based sort of team, if I'm completely honest with you, and that's obviously something which I try and keep into account and try and let you guys know within all my videos. Now, if we want to take a little bit of a deeper look into Lewis Travis, we will go ahead and do that. But if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your ticket. Let's take a little bit deeper look into Lewis Travis then. Now, he's 27 years of age. He's a central midfielder, most notably sort of a bit of a deeper midfielder, plays in a bit of that pivot role, maybe in a double pivot as well, depending on where John Eustace sees him. And he's contracted at Blackburn Rovers until the summer of 2026. Now, he stands at 1.83 metres tall and according to Transfer Market is valued at €3.5 million. And for me, do I think he could join Derby County? I absolutely do. Now, obviously, a lot of it depends on sort of the value behind the scenes. Obviously, as I mentioned a few moments ago, reports suggest that Blackburn would be willing to part ways with the midfielder for around £2 million. And I don't know. I just don't know if £2 million will be enough. I feel like that sounds like a very cheap amount of money for a player who is very, very good and very proven at championship level. And a player who is very proven at championship level. He's played 39 games this season, 2 goals, 1 assist, 11 yellow cards, 3,252 total minutes, and obviously played across the course of defensive midfield and sort of as a number 8. Now, he obviously has spent a lot of his career, at Blackburn Rovers. I believe started out at Liverpool before moving to Blackburn, spent some time at Ipswich, and obviously then returned back to Blackburn. And it's one of those for me where I do think he is a very, very good player. And that is why I just can't really sort of understand this deal, to be completely honest with you. 322 appearances across all competitions, 8 goals, 20 assists, 69 yellow cards, 1 red and 24,982 minutes. Very versatile in the course of his career, obviously most notably playing in that sort of holding midfield role, 208 appearances there, 38 in central midfield, 27 at right back, 17 at right wing back, 4 at left back, 4 at centre back, 1 at number 10 role and 1 at left midfield. Did spend time at Liverpool, didn't make an appearance for their under-18s before moving to Blackburn, where he played for the under-18s, the 21s. I'm not entirely sure when he had that spell at Ipswich Town, so let's just take a look at that. Was that during Ipswich Town's promotion year? It may well have been. 9 appearances with 1 assist, 333 minutes for Ipswich. What year was that, though? That is what I want to know. But it doesn't seem to be telling me over here. Yeah, it was 23-24 when Ipswich got promoted. Must have been a loan spell during the back end of that season. Now, I'm certainly not against this transfer by any means. I don't want anybody to think that I'm against this transfer because he is an unbelievable midfielder and he shits all over everybody in our team in that sort of midfield role, in my opinion. So, for me, wonderful move. I personally just can't see it happening. I can't see Blackburn Rovers letting him go for $2 million for starters unless he sort of asks to leave, because he is a very, very good championship player. He's got, what is it, 242 games in the championship across the course of his career. which is outrageously experienced. He's only 27 years old. Blackburn are going to want to keep hold of him. Now, we do know Blackburn have their off-field issues in regards to contract extensions and things like that. Looks as if Tyrese Dolan's going to be leaving. Looks as if Danny Batth, Andreas Weimann are all set to be leaving the club as well, with Batth and Weimann obviously linked to Derby County. But is Travis sort of the guy who is going to sort of lead that revolute of contracted players to be moving away? Who actually knows? Now, obviously, Derby County are, according to Football League World, battling with Wrexham. Now, there's going to be a lot of talk in my comments, as I've seen with a lot of my transfer videos so far this season, that whenever we're linked with a player who has like the likes of Wrexham or the likes of Birmingham linked, a lot of people are talking about financial clout and us being able to sort of compete with these sort of teams. And I want to personally sort of say, I don't think that our financial position is as bad as people believe it is. I don't actually think we're in a bad financial position, if I'm completely honest. And obviously everybody can hold their own opinions. But if you go back to Stephen Pearce's interview at the start of the year, it was reported that we have, by Stephen Pearce, and I think it was Dom Dietrich who did the interview, that Derby County have around over £6 million to spend, from what Dom Dietrich's question was in regards to Erin Cashin's sale, which we only then went on to buy Sondre Langas for about £4.5 million, which leaves between £5 and £6 million available. And Stephen Pearce did not deny that on the record. Now, does that mean that we can battle with Wrexham and Birmingham? Of course we can battle with them. Does it mean that the deals will then make sense for Derby County to go and pick up a player? That is obviously sort of the questionable one. It's all to do with making sure that we're spending the right money on the right players, rather than just going, oh, fuck it, they put in that, we'll put in that. And that's my personal opinion. I think that we've got to be smart in what we do. And I think if you go back to last year, I think we were very smart in our business. Kenzo for £600,000, I think is an absolute steal. Ibu Adams, 500 grand rising to £1 million, I think a steal. Zetterstrom, £1.5 million rising up to 2.2, I think is a very, very good deal. You think of Matt Clark, £250,000. You think of Sondre Langas, I think £4.5 million for Langas, ridiculous in my opinion. I think he'll be going for 10, 11 million come at the end of next season, in my personal opinion, unless he chooses to stay at Derby County. I think the Selverson deal was quite a cheap one as well, about £800,000. Obviously yet to see sort of how that is going to sort of shake out. But I think Derby County have been very smart and very sustainable with how they've done their business across the course of the last few years. And I do believe that Derby County should do that sort of moving forward as well. And that's something which obviously, in regards to this Travis deal or any possible deal going forward, that's what we've got to think about. It's all about doing the right things for the club, rather than sort of going out and spending £5 million on a striker because we need a striker. If you go back to the Mel Morris era, deadline date, we lost Bryson to a season end. Well, it was pretty much a season-ending injury. Will Hughes did his ACL. We went and spent 12 million in 24 hours. Well, it was on deadline day. We spent 12 million on deadline day for Bradley Johnson and for Jacob Butterfield in deals which ultimately, the deals themselves weren't that bad in regards of why we did them, because we had to go and bring players in for that midfield role because we'd lost our two key midfielders. And I personally believe both Bradley Johnson and Butterfield were sort of hit signings in the sense of their performances on the pitch. Obviously Butterfield had off the pitch drama which ended up with him leaving the club and obviously talking negatively about the club, but we don't want to do that again now, in my opinion. We've got to make the right calls with the right fees, the right wages, if Derby County are going to be sustainable. And that's what David Clowes is wanting to do. Now, obviously we've had all this talk about investment and things like that, but we know that David Clowes has funded the club for 5 years, which takes us to what, 2027? The end of the 2027-28 season, I think that would be. It picks up in 22. Season 1 would be 22-23. Season 2 would be 23-24. Then 24-25, which we're in now. So we've got 2 more years of David Clowes funding, which obviously we do hope we bring in investors to help us this season and give John Eustace a team that he deserves. But ultimately, it's not as if it's a necessity, and that's why I think we don't get much talking points about it. But we'll obviously have to wait and see. Now, you can obviously let me know your thoughts on Lewis Travis down in the comments. I think it's very unlikely he comes to join Derby County, but you can let me know your thoughts down below. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and check out the Derby County raffle down in the comments. And I'll catch you in my next video. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.